What's up, everybody? I'm Metal Nick.
I'm Jeff Christopher.
And welcome to episode number 27 of Vinyl Bang. Jeff, do you want to introduce today's guest?
Today's guest episode, we have the one and only Champ Morgan. Everybody, Champ Morgan, let's hear it for, yeah, woo!
There we go.
Champ is well known for his contributions through the to the grind genre for the most part throughout the years. A lot of you may know Champ from his time in Kill the Client. More recently, he is the frontman for a band called Blk Ops, as well as Triage, and his solo project, Derelict Satellite, which is a noise ambient solo project, which is it's fun. It's interesting. I enjoy this a lot. Anything you want to contribute to your solo project?
Oh, yeah, my solo stuff, it's Derelict Satellite, and then Dylan from Full of Hell stole the name for one of his songs. I still need to contact my lawyer about that.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
That text message conversation, I should have photographed it and put it up because it was hilarious.
I'm sure that went over swimmingly between you and Dylan.
No, I love that band though. The first Blk Ops show was opening for them in San Antonio. So I've been a big fan of those dudes since they were literally kids. I think the first time that we played with them, Kill the Client was still active, and I think the oldest person in that band was like 19 at the time, maybe 19.
Wow.
Yeah, they were young, but they were sick, man. They threw down.
Yeah. Oh, they still do. Oh, they're fucking.
Yeah.
Shout out to Full of Hell.
Love those guys.
That Full of Hell Mersbo collaboration record. It's in here, and it's.
I'm sure everything's in that collection, dude. That's ridiculous.
I think my Discogs is like at just a little bit under 4,100 records right now.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Very impressive.
Yeah. Should be saved for retirement, but records.
That's right. Only vinyl is real.
Right. Only vinyl is real.
All right. Well, Champ, do you want to get started and then start talking about what you got in your collection here?
I will start where metal started for me as a young, fresh-faced boy in Enid, Oklahoma. Dio, Holy Diver.
Oh, yeah.
This is literally the reason that I wanted to become a singer, is Ronnie James Dio. I remember I walked home from junior high, and there used to be a show called Radio 1990 on in Oklahoma, and they played music videos, and on Fridays they would play metal videos. And the three videos that I saw in order that changed my chimpanzee brain were, first and foremost, Rainbow in the Dark, and then Accept, Balls to the Wall, and then Iron Maiden. Why am I drawing a blank? Run to the Hills. There you go. But those three were just like, I was already starting to get into heavier stuff, listening to like Van Halen and AC/DC and that type stuff. But hearing Dio, Rainbow in the Dark, and he was little, I was like, holy shit. One of my people.
Right.
From that point on, I wanted to be a singer, and having this is an original press.
Nice.
Very early pressing of Holy Diver, and I've
now
up there on top is actually my original cassette tape from junior high that I've had since 1983. Up there at the top of this thing, so.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, man.
But nothing better literally nothing better than this record. Period. Ronnie
So I
James,
guess
the best to ever do it, ever.
so. My question to you is are you a Ozzy Sabbath or a Dio Sabbath guy?
Well, I'm a Dio Sabbath guy, of course. How dare you even question to the king? But I mean, to me, there's different phases. You know, it's like I love the first four records with Ozzy. They're untouchable.
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
I don't know.
The last 2 or 3 were questionable at best. They were borderline terrible. And then when Dio happened, there you go.
Dio era Sabbath. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If we want to talk about Sabbath, because I have some rare Sabbath records in here, and they're both Ozzy Sabbath records. But this is an original Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, original press, with the promotional sticker still on it.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, dude.
So the crazy thing with record people, when you have this type stuff, is now, since this little sticker is still on here, this record's worth like $300, which is fucking insane.
Well,
but this is I love this record too. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, probably
Sure.
the best here. Anthrax covered it, and it fucking ruled. And then We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll, also with the promo sticker on it. Which is, this is all Ozzy stuff. Still not as good as the Dio stuff, but
of course,
still legit. Don't ever question the king, the best to ever do it.
Yeah, Nick.
If you look right up here, you got your Ronnie James Dio and your Murray figure. And then my friend sent me a Dio Christmas card up here. So feel free to look at that the entire time of this interview if you have.
I have been the entire time. Very jealous, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Next, I guess we can just go next in that timeline would be my original press, Master of Puppets.
Hell yeah.
Because this is another one of those records that was like a milestone change in my life.
Absolutely.
When the first time I heard this, it's just stopped me in my tracks. I was at wrestling practice, and they were playing the tape in the weight room, and I was like, "Holy fuck, what is this?" I was a freshman, and in Oklahoma, you're still in junior high, right? So we were at the high school training, and they all looked down on us little fucking peons. They're like, "How the fuck do you not know who the fuck this is?" And I'm just like, "I don't know." And I literally heard Master of Puppets first, and then they put in Ride the Lightning right after. And I was a diehard fan from that day up until the Black Album came out.
And then just kind of died off. Yeah. That's a pretty common reaction.
But I recently saw them. My friend Steve Richter, he's like that dude loves every bit of Metallica ever, even the shitty stuff, and it's hilarious. But
I know people like that.
Oh my God, I make fun of him all the time. I love him to death, but But my last 2 like actual Metallica experiences were with that dude. We went and saw when the Metallica did like the movie release of their new album, where they like previewed the songs or whatever.
Sure, yeah, I remember that.
We went to he and I went to Dallas together to see Metallica, and it was great. They were great live. It was entertaining, super entertaining. They played mainly old stuff, which was good. They only played a couple of new songs. It was good. I can't complain. I will probably never buy another album from them, but this was like literally changed the trajectory of my fucking life. Like this is when I super got into fucking like true real heavy metal, and this is still one of the greatest records ever recorded.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And Master Puppets still to this day, like, if you can't find anything else to listen to, Master Puppets is always one that just throw on and just let it ride. It's just such a good album.
Hell yeah, and then Disposable Heroes is on there, and I jamming that song like when I was in Iraq. I was in fucking Desert Storm, like living that song out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Jesus. Yeah, that's the album that started it all off for me as well. I was a little kid and I found that cassette in my sister's drawer, and like just listening to the beginning of Battery, just being like, this kind of sucks. And then once it fucking kicked in, I was like, oh my God. And same as you, it set me off for life. I was like, wow, I've never heard anything so powerful, so like just well put together in my life.
The best thing is like Battery has to be one of the top 5 opening songs of any album ever.
Oh yeah.
The record. It's just awesome.
It is my number 1 of all time. It is.
Yeah, definitely Desert Island material.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
So,
it's a good one,
dude. I have so many Metallica stories, and there's a ton of Metallica right in there. Probably like, I don't know, that many records worth.
Good.
Of imports and pressings and shit like that.
Sure.
You can see the Injustice for All box set right there.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can see that now.
Yeah, so literally from here to here is all Metallica.
Nice.
It's all
very
that.
Nice.
But, from there, the mighty Danzig original press, gatefold.
Oh, badass.
Right? Not only is it a sick fucking record from Evil Elvis, but it's also signed by
Evil. Shit.
Hell yeah.
And the really rare signature on it is the mighty John Christ. So, signed by Glenn and John Christ both. I fucking love Danzig. I grew up listening, and I was like the weird kid listening to fucking blues music in fucking elementary school, and hearing Danzig, like playing blues and shit, but it's like spooky and evil. Like, I love that shit. I still love Danzig. I listen to fucking Danzig all the time. I probably own 10 Danzig shirts.
Oh yeah.
I picked that up a long time ago. And I probably had that record. I think I bought that record in maybe like 97 or 98.
Wow.
I've had it a long time.
Hell yeah.
And the last time I saw Danzig, it was fucking awesome. They only played songs off the first 3 records, sounded good. Was like actually joking with the crowd and like being like a normal person. It was kind of odd. But we were hanging out with the dudes from Midnight and like singing every fucking song like fucking high school kids. It was fucking awesome. Good times.
Hell yeah. Childhood memories, man. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. And that, speaking of the Midnight guys, that new Midnight record's fucking good too, if you haven't heard that one yet.
Not yet. No.
Not.
Yeah, it just came out like a couple of weeks ago, I think. It's good. I mean, it's typical Midnight. They don't really break the mold.
Right. True to form.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome every time. Next up on the life-changing records,
Rollins Band.
Rollins Band, Into the Silence. It took me forever to actually track this record down because it was never released on vinyl in the United States.
Okay.
Of course, when this came out, it was the CD era and vinyl had died. And this was released on Imago, the record label they were on, which was a European label. But I got this maybe 10 years ago, and mean, I think I paid like $200 for this fucking thing, but I don't give a shit. It's gatefold pressing, you know. It's a 2 LP set, but this, you know, this record, another one, you know, literally hearing this changed my life. You know, I was a Black Flag fan, and then I heard this, and I was just like, holy fucking shit. When I was stationed in Germany, I saw the Rollins band twice on this tour, and the first time I saw them was funny enough. He opened up for the Red Hot. He was on tour with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was the greatest thing I'd fucking seen. He came out on stage, and you know, it's a sold out show because it was Chili Peppers on Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and he comes out and he's like, hey light guy, turn these lights on, turn these house lights on. I don't need any lights or pyro to let you motherfuckers know what we do. And they turned all the lights on. They laid down like a 40 solid minutes of just kicking your fucking ass in.
That's rad, man.
Pure fucking intensity, you know. It was so fucking amazing. And then like a month later, he was still on tour by himself. He was headlining shows, and I saw him in like a smaller kind of medium-sized club, and he played for fucking over 2 hours, and it was incredible. I mean, they played so much shit, like a bunch of free form stuff, you know. I mean, the Rollins band back then was untouchable, you know. Chris Haskett on guitar, Andrew Weiss on bass, Sugar Sim Kane on drums. Like, that band was like they were like superpowers.
Yeah.
They have Sim Kane's drumstick up there on top from that show, and that was like in '92, I think. But the thing that got me about that show was the first time that I ever went sober in my life was after that show, because Rollins had went on this rant about like getting your life straight and keeping yourself clean and all this fucking shit, and it was like clicked in my brain, you know, and I was like, fuck, this is the shit. Like, this guy's like really got something to say, and it really fucking hit me. And then after the show, you know, going to the merch table, and he had his books out there, and I was like, oh, this dude writes, you know, he writes poetry and all this other shit. Like, as like a 19-year-old kid from the fucking Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle, like seeing someone that intense that actually like wrote poetry, you know, like really like opened my eyes up to like what a person could do, you know.
Sure.
And that's, you know, really when I started to actually like writing, you know, was after that fucking show.
Oh wow,
awesome.
And
then when I came back to the States, I was stationed at Fort Hood, and you know, come to Austin, and one of the first shows I saw back in the States was fucking Rollins band at the end of Into the Silence tour, and Tool was actually the opener, like right before Undertow came out. And they were, you know, they were awesome. You know, no one was doing what they were doing back then. And the Rollins band played for like pushing 2 hours. And then the encore of that show was the Butthole Surfers came out. And they did Eric in My Eye, the old Cheeks and Chong song. And they did like a 20-minute version of Ghost Rider, the Suicide song. And it was just like, fuck,
man,
the greatest shit ever, you know.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I've been a Rollins fan ever since, and you know, it took me a while to come back to being sober, but you know, it's really just that Henry Rollins mentality, you know.
He went to a school by where I live.
He did what now?
He went to school out where I live. There's a private school called Bullis that he went to.
Hell yeah!
A couple of my friends went there for sports. I don't know if he was athletic or not, but
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, maybe he was on the wrestling team or something. But
well, I've seen this. I've read it. You know, I probably own 20 or 25 of his books, and I've seen his I think I've seen him live, I think 10 times, and then spoken word 5 times.
Right on.
And I know he wasn't really into sports when he was in school, but that's where he found out about lifting weights because he had a gym coach that was like, seeing him getting picked on, and he was kind of like quiet, and introduced him to lifting weights. That's where it started, but he was never like a sports person.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah, I never really got into the Rollins band. Like I had the album Wait because of the strength of the Liar video.
Yeah.
But like I never really got into the End of Silence, and never saw him live. I saw the spoken word once, and it was really awesome to hear him just talk for 2 hours. Really cool to hear stories, and just everything that this man had to say was really awesome. But never really got into the Rollins band. Never saw him live.
That's what's wrong with you. You're not.
It is.
You're not into the Rollins band, and you think Nirvana's good. Two huge mistakes right there.
Well, you know what? This show's about done. All right.
Real quick before we get on to the next album, the only time I've seen Rollins band live, they were doing a benefit for the West Memphis 3. So at the 930 Club in Washington, D.C., Rollins band performed a set full of Black Flag songs, but the first 5 songs were done by Keith Morris. And then when they did Rise Above, Rollins and help me out here, Minor Threat,
Ian McKay,
they came out and did Rise Above together. And then at some point, Neil Fallon from Clutch came out and did a song with them. But it was a pretty unique night. They raised a lot of money for those kids that were weren't kids.
Signed West Memphis 3 Rise Above show poster, like right up there. So
hell yeah,
cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Rollins is a powerful dude. I've seen his spoken word. They used to play something on Comedy Central many years ago. And
I've seen him enough times spoken word. Like the first time I saw him spoken word, he was like pissed. And then as he got older, like he mellowed out and got funnier and funnier and funnier.
Right,
so
right.
The comparison of like seeing him in the mid 90s to like, seeing him like 6 months ago was like night and day.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You get older and things just kind of, calm down,
Yeah. But it was crazy back then.
Right.
But we'll move on down the list because we could sit here and talk about Henry Rollins all day.
All day.
My spirit animal, Kevin Sharp, and the mighty Brutal Truth, Need to Control box set. All right, this is an earache import, and it's a 5-inch, a 6-inch, a 7-inch, an 8-inch, and a 9-inch record.
What?
Holy shit, dude!
Yeah, have you never seen?
I've never seen the box set.
That's fucking wild.
Right, it annoys the shit out of a ton of people because all the records are different size. But if you look, like a little tiny record.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my god.
A little bigger. These are really, really fucking hard to find. But it's consecutive from 5-inch all the way up to 9-inch.
That's great.
Super fucking rare. Brutal Truth, one of the greatest bands of all time.
Oh, sure.
Love playing shows with them. Kevin Sharp is one of my fucking favorite people on this fucking earth.
Yeah.
Spirit animal for years and years. I don't know. That dude's a fucking sweetheart. He's the best. And this, like when Kill the Client first started, like the things that I listened to, because I was just like in hardcore bands, and before I had never done like grind vocals, and the things I listened to were Brutal Truth, Napalm Death, and actually Soylent Green, like Ben Falgoose. Those were like the things that I jammed all the time. And then Pig Destroyer, Pig Destroyer too. JR. I love that dude's vocals.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Going from being in a hardcore band to like, do you want to be in a band that plays 300 beats a minute? And I was like, we're doing what now? Can I still sing songs about hating the government? And, oh yeah, there we go. All right, that's right up my alley.
Sure. And look at you, you're still going. You're still going with that shit, dude. You having seen you, what was it? A couple months back, whenever I saw a Triage, whenever we hung out in Tulsa, like, dude, you still kill it live. Absolutely.
I try, I'll be 53 in August, but just like Hulk Hogan, just working out, lifting weights, saying my prayers, taking my vitamins.
Yeah, you're doing it correctly, man. Whatever you're doing it correctly.
But Triage is me and Brian and Chris that were Kill the Client. The only difference is we have a different bass player. So it's just proof positive that good things happen when you cut the negative people out of your life. And that band is that, because playing with Brian and Chris, it's like, it's some of the best times I've ever had in my life were with those two dudes, and I love playing music with them.
That's awesome.
And there's Triage records in here too. I don't want to be that guy. Like, look at my records.
I've actually mentioned Triage in an episode or two. I can't remember which episode it was, but yeah, I busted out the red pressing of the Triage album.
Hell yeah.
Giving you all some I
believe it was on the grind episode.
It might have been the grind episode. That would make sense. It was in the grind episode.
I need to go back and check that out then.
I believe it's the episode that's going to premiere before this episode.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So it hasn't premiered yet. We just recorded it recently.
Oh, nice. Dude, there's a lot of grind records in here too. There's a couple in this we haven't got to yet here. But not a grind record, but a record that was awesome because it literally just shit on everyone in the hardcore scene. One of the greatest anti-hardcore records ever. Fixation on a Coworker. Dead Guy. One of the greatest fucking albums ever. This is an original press. The old school Victory pressing, and of course Victory has repressed it a whole bunch of fucking times. But this is the gray marble, kind of rare, if you're into that stuff.
Very nice. Very nice.
The first time hearing this and just like, Doom Patrol, Pins and Needles, just like, holy fucking shit. Like, because to me, it kind of had like that kind of a Black Flag mentality, but like so much more, it's pissed off in a different way. And the way that it's just written and played is just, to me, fucking awesome. And I still need to fucking see them. I miss them. And it makes me, it pisses me off so bad. And I had tickets to when they played the Decibel thing when they first came back out of retirement, and I ended up not being able to go at the last minute and missed out.
Damn.
Something that Keith busts my balls about every time we fucking message each other. Because they just played that Dillinger show, and I was like, fuck, I wish I was there. And they have that new kind of Black Flag rip-off t-shirt. And I was like, I need that. And he's like, you need to fucking leave Texas. And,
Right. Sure.
So, but still, Fixation on a Coworker, Desert Island record, no question.
Cool.
Just a complete different interpretation of hardcore, and they all hated hardcore, which was the best part. But next on the list, super rare pressing of Napalm Death
Scum. Nice.
you know, if we're going to talk about influential records on my half-assed shitty career, Napalm Death is probably the biggest one. Them, Brutal Truth, Pig Destroyer, the top three. But this is a limited edition of only 2,000 breast. It's an English import, and it's on spun gold. And if you can see that all of the cover is actually gold.
Yeah, everything's in gold. Yeah.
You know, and we know also that, you know, Napalm Death probably made zero money off of this because they got ripped off so bad by fucking
Sure. Right.
Yeah, this is it's white with like gold. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a really, really cool looking record. Even though they got fucked.
Yeah, it sucks for them, man. That's a shitty deal.
But I've you know, I bought this record. I think I bought this in like '96 maybe. And that was the best thing, you know, because it was you know, records had died out, you know.
Right.
But if you look on the price, I got it for $10.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! You can't beat that, man.
You know, it's worth way more than that now. But
sure,
just this alone, you know, this was like, hearing this is just like the first Napalm I heard was Harmony Corruption, like most people. But then I think I heard Scum when I came back, because I heard Harmony Corruption when I was in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came back to Fort Hood, I was like, you know, my friend, and he was like, "Oh, you like metal?" And I was like, "Yeah." And the two things he mentioned to me was Sick of It All and Napalm Death. And, you know, he was like, "Yeah, have you ever heard fucking Napalm Death, Scum?" And I was like, "No, I've only heard Harmony Corruption." And then he, you know, played me Scum. I was like, "Oh, this is fucking stupid."
Life changing. Yeah, absolutely.
So fucking gross, but dude, it's yes. And we played a bunch of shows with Napalm Death, and, you know, Barney actually comes here to Austin and hangs out a couple times a year. So I usually see him, you know, 2 or 3 times every couple of years. So it's been good. I like that guy. He's super cool.
Hell yeah. Dude, Barney's awesome. And dude, Napalm Death's one of the greatest live bands ever. Like watching him live. I love watching Barney live, dude.
Dude, his he looks like one of those blow up noodle men, you know, at the fucking
yeah.
That's a new one. We had a guest on our show previously that said he looks like he's digging through his pants trying to find his car keys. Yeah, I had to like let that sink in too, because that's a really good one.
It's actually fucking genius. Then I'm gonna have to fucking tell him that next time I fucking see him.
His on stage moves are great for sure.
Absolutely.
It's the best. I mean, even if you just like watch a video and just turn the volume off, it's
Barney's definitely very entertaining. Absolutely.
Damn, what's the name of the video? There's a Beavis and Butthead video where they're watching the music video for damn.
Oh,
Fear
when he's got long hair, right? I know what you're talking about.
Skirl the Inferno. What's that song? Plague Rages.
The Plague Rages.
The Beavis and Butthead commentary on that video is just absolutely a riot.
Dude,
go look it up. It's fucking hilarious. You won't regret it.
Yeah, I used to watch that show religiously. Again, being back at Fort Hood, like we watched that all the time. Like the commentary to that, and like the fucking the Crowbar video.
Mm-hmm. That one's awesome. The first time I ever watched Beavis and Butthead was Crowbar was on there.
The first time I ever heard Crowbar was on that fucking show.
They say people tell them that all the time.
And
it's awesome.
I went and saw them in Dallas, and they were on Crowbar Tour, and
Hell yeah.
just crushed it. You know, they were just so fucking awesome, and the nicest. They hung out all night, talked to every, you know, I mean, there was maybe like 100 people there at the most. You know, it was before they really kind of like started like getting their thing going, and Solitude Alternus opened up, the old Dallas fucking powered like doom like Candlemass type band, and dude, it was just such a fucking good show. And I've loved that band ever since, just because of fucking, you know, Beavis and Butthead. I think I've seen Crowbar. I've probably seen Crowbar 10 or 12 times, probably. That band fucking rules. Riffs.
They do have riffs.
Something that does not have a lot of riffs, but is a key part of my touring life, because this is the first album that I put on anytime that I drive, day or night, in a tour van, and that would be Steely Dan Asia, one of the greatest, one of the greatest driving records ever. This is the gatefold original press of this album, and if you don't like it, you're probably stupid. One of the one of the best sounding records ever recorded. There's probably 20 different musicians on this. The best of the best studio musicians in New York are on this record. And literally every time I drive a fucking tour van, no matter what time, day or night, Steely Dan Asia. And I've had this record. I think I got this record in fucking, actually, I do remember when I got this record. My dad's friend gave this to me, and he was just like, you know, you listen to all that heavy metal bullshit, you know, you should listen to this. You want to hear people play, this is real people playing, you know.
Right.
And I was like, what fucking stupid shit, like they can't even spell Asia right, like what is this? And then I went and listened to it, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, like this is incredible. You know, if you're into jazz and stuff like that, like that record fucking rules. And the first time I ever busted it out is I had the CD, and we were leaving out on our first West Coast tour and Kill the Client. I had worked all day, and then we practiced and we loaded up the van, and we were going to drive from Dallas to Amarillo, because this is a typical Kill the Client story. The tour started in Denver, first show in Denver, nothing in between, because you know we were notorious for driving halfway across the country making no money to start playing a tour. That's what we did. And I put that CD in, and Brian was sitting in the passenger seat of the van, and when it started, he was like, what the fuck is this? You know, like, I don't want to hear this bull. You know, Gerardo will listen to grind and death metal like nonstop. That's all that dude. And I was like, just listen to it. You know, this is some real fucking playing. Like, you're gonna hear some fucking phenomenal players in this.
Sure.
And like halfway through the first song, you know, and it's just like going through all this fucking cool. There's like two different like back-to-back drum solos and these little interludes in the bridge, and he was just like, holy shit, that guy can play. And I'm like, that's what I'm trying to fucking tell you. But
trying to give you some culture, Fajardo. Come on, man.
Trying to learn you some stuff. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, my driving go-tos tour van wise, first and foremost, Steely Dan Asia, Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. That's another one of my favorites. Hall & Oates Greatest Hits. I like Greatest Hits records when I'm driving.
Okay.
But yeah, Steely Dan, #1 tour driver.
I am vaguely familiar with Steely Dan, and I am now going to verse myself, going to become more familiar with that album in particular. I'm going to start with that one.
Oh,
so thank you.
It is the pinnacle of anything they ever did. It is the best.
Duly noted.
Write it down on your hand. All right, moving on. One of the greatest modern metal records comes out of the state of Texas. Iron Age, Sleeping Eye. This record is just this is a gym jam. If I'm lifting heavy. No, the thing went away. Are we still connected?
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of cut out for a second. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's your internet or what it is, but we lost it for a second.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. I mean,
we're good. We're back on.
Okay. It's weird. Kind of freaking me
go.
out. Either way. Yeah, it's what it is. It's the power of the sleeping eye. giving you the fucking juice.
Mm-hmm.
This is the original pressing of this record, which is hard to find. Gatefold, 2-record set. You know, got the nice thick vinyl to hold down all those heavy fucking riffs. Dude, when this came out, it fucking blew me away, and I still listen to it all the time. I still would put it up against just about any other fucking metal record that came out. It's a lot of people, because they started out as a hardcore band, as a straight edge band, and then slowly but surely became this. The first time they actually were on it, they got on a show, we played. It was like Kill the Client, Insect Warfare, what is the name of that? Fuck, it was a power violence band from. Oh, that's gonna make me crazy. I don't remember. The show was ridiculous, but they got added on at the very, very end, and they were still like all straight edge, like real young dudes. And I liked that, as I came up in the hardcore scene, and I liked their first record. And then I saw them like 6 months, a year later, and I was like, "Fuck, these guys sound like they've listened to a couple of Crowbar records." Started fucking slowing down, and then like a year and a half later, this came out, and it's just incredible. Just doesn't really get too much better than this, honestly. I fucking love this record. Jam time still. If you haven't heard it, make that correction today.
All right.
Do it. See, you're getting all sorts of things that you need to listen to.
I am. And that's why I'm glad we got you on the show, because I want to learn shit like this. I want to learn what makes Champ tick.
You just take some of those Nirvana records out of your collection
and here we go.
Put a couple of these in there.
Yes. This guy.
Get you a couple Mudhoney 7-inches because they're better than Nirvana. Oh. Is that what we need to do today?
Evidently. I think I do. I do have some Mudhoney records, actually.
See?
I believe.
Got a little bit of culture. I'm
working on it. Getting there.
Slowly but surely. We're going to help you out along the way.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another one. We'll move on to this. Hatred Surge.
Hatred Surge.
Right? Another fucking Texas powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Hughes, this is his band. This is Deconstruct, which was a big record for them. But this is basically it's a bootlegged, screen printed on paper cover, and it's like a Dr. Pepper logo.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you these, I think there's like 20 of these maybe. but they were printed by Neolithic. But this is like the really rare, super rare version of Deconstruct.
No, that's rad looking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all just screen printed. I don't remember how many. I think there's like maybe 20. I don't remember. 20. There's either 20 or 50. This fucking record rules. This band rules. Alex Hughes is like, you know, a linchpin and so much badass music that came out of Texas. You know.
Oh yeah.
He was in Iron Age. He's Hatred Surge, Mammoth Grinder, Insect War. I even think he would spent time in Insect Warfare. You know, Alex is like the fucking king of Texas when it comes to like grind and power violent stuff. He was he had a cool band called God Money for a little while. And he's the nicest dude ever. So can't get much better than that.
Hell no.
This pressing of this record is like super fucking rare. So
very cool.
If you ever see one of these up in your part of the world, which I doubt you will,
snatch it up.
This is the only one of these I've ever seen. And I actually had to take a picture of it and text it to Alex, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And he just like texts me back just laughing. He was just like, where the fuck did you find that? There's none of those. And then he told me, he's like, yeah, these are like kind of a joke cover that Neolithic printed for us. And, you know, I fucking had to snatch it up.
Absolutely.
But legit awesome fucking record.
Hell yeah.
Let's do a couple 7-inches. We've been doing LPs. So the first Rollins band I ever bought on vinyl is this 7-inch bootleg of Hard and Low Self Opinion. This was live bootlegged in '92, and it's on clear blue.
Right on.
Cool.
And it's two of my favorite Rollins band songs, and the first non-CD thing I ever bought from the Rollins band.
Very cool.
This I just recently got. It is the first Soundgarden 7-inch original.
Oh wow!
And it's only 500 copies. And this is the very first Soundgarden 7-inch. It's also on clear blue. And instead of it saying Sub Pop, it says Pub Sop. It's like a joke. It's like a joke thing they did.
Uh-huh.
But it's just got the song Sub Pop Rock City on it, which is a joke song that they did, and the original version of Fop. So Screaming Life and Fop were the first two things they put out, and this is the very first pressing on the 7-inch of that.
Well, that's rad.
Amazing.
We're not going to talk about how much I spent on it.
I was going to say, no, I don't even want to ask how much you spent on that. But
so the really bad thing is, like, when you get paid and your last job of the day is right next to the record store, it's a dangerous combination.
Sure.
But, you know, I saw it. I had to have it. And it's got King Kong versus Mecha King Kong as the cover.
That's rad, man.
And I couldn't pass it up. But I have some really rare 7-inches. Some of them I've had a long time. Some of them I've paid a tiny bit for. Some of them I've paid a decent amount for. But this is probably in the, you know, I paid a good amount of money for this. But it's well worth it. Super fucking rare record. You never see it. So I had to grab it. And
very cool.
7-inch is also a band that's better than Nirvana. They're a little called Pearl Jam. Maybe you've heard of them. But this is the original live 7-inch, and it's the German pressing of it.
Okay.
Cool.
And the reason that I got this was the first time that I heard Pearl Jam, I was stationed in Germany, and I was in southern Germany, and we had gotten a hotel, and because when you're on a military base in a foreign country, you have one channel, and that channel is AFN, Armed Forces Network. So you don't really see music, television, or videos or anything like that.
Right.
So, we get to the hotel, we're down south, drinking, fucking partying, acting like fucking maniacs, and start flipping through the TV channels. And the first video that I saw was Alive. And I loved Pearl Jam. I thought they were great then. I still love them now. I'm going to Chicago in August to see them at Wrigley Field.
Nice.
But when I saw that video, I was like, oh man, I love this band's great. Like, then I looked in the Stars and Stripes, which is the military newspaper, and I saw that Pearl Jam was coming. So I rode on a train for like 2.5 hours to go see them. And this is right before they blew up. Like, Alive had come out, and they were gaining popularity, but they weren't like the fucking huge mega band or whatever you want to fucking call it. And
right. Sellouts.
Don't get me.
Here we go.
Don't get me making bad jokes about your boy Kurt.
Dude, I'm just trying to keep up with you. You fucking ripping on me the entire time.
But I went to the show, and I walked in and walked by the merch table, and Steve Ambrusi, their original drummer, was just standing at the merch table.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up talking to him for like 45 minutes. And he was super fucking nice. Actually from San Antonio, Texas, not from Seattle. He was an Air Force kid, an Air Force brat, and was born in San Antonio and then moved to Seattle. And just hung out with him and talked, and he was super nice. And, they played, and at the end of their set and the end of their encore, he stood up, sees me in the crowd, points at me, throws his drumstick to me, and I still have that drumstick to this day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
really cool, man.
Pearl Jam fan. I love them. So many people bust my balls about fucking Pearl Jam. I was talking with Mitch from Maruda earlier today, and he was just like, because his new band, Shock Withdrawal, who was great. Well, I mean, the band is great. The vocals, Mitch is terrible. I'll say that.
Of course, yeah.
I'll say that so everybody knows.
Sure.
But they're playing in Austin, and he's like, "Hey, man, fucking playing down there." Tells me it's the day I'm in Chicago. My wife and I are going to Chicago on vacation, and part of that vacation is seeing Pearl Jam at Wrigley Field. Mm-hmm. The same day that Shock Withdrawal is in my town. So I told him I picked Jeremy over Mitch.
And I'm sure that went over well.
Dude, the amount of shit texting that happened after that was monumental.
I'm sure.
But he's like you. He's a Nirvana guy. Nirvana, they were so good. Oh, the voice of a generation. Oh.
I like Mitch even more now. Actually, I'm glad we had this conversation. I'll have to call him.
Dude, call him. The Kill the Client Maruda tour we did together was one of the funnest tours I ever did, because the amount of shit talking between Mitch and I was. We should have just been rolling video. Actually, no, we probably shouldn't have been rolling video, because we would probably both be canceled. The amount of garbage that we talked to each other.
Sure. I could imagine.
Ruthless talk. I did teach him and Eduardo how to eat ramen noodles with a pocket knife, and that's like a life lesson those two gentlemen still use to this day. So it's tour trick 101.
So Champ can be useful every now and then.
I know two things: how to eat ramen with a pocket knife in a hotel room, and scream kind of loud. That's the two things I have. since my modeling career is over. Oh, but speaking of modeling careers, see that segue? See you guys?
You done good.
Another awesome record. A little Celtic Frost for you. Original press Emperor's Return.
Huh.
With the promotional hype sticker still on it.
Very nice.
Super fucking rare. And the reason that this record is important to me, one, because Celtic Frost fucking rules. Period. But this record, it took me 30 years to talk one of my best friends into selling this to me. I could have purchased this record multiple times, but I had to have this record from my friend. When we were in high school, I lived in the fucking Texas Panhandle, a fucking tiny fucking town. Right? So Perryton, Texas was this place. And my friend Perry and I drove 2 hours south to Amarillo. That tells you how far up in the Panhandle we were. Literally right on the border of Oklahoma. We start flipping through the records at this one tiny record store. It was called Ralph's Records. It started in Lubbock, Texas, and they had expanded to Amarillo, right? So we drove down there to check it out. Flipping through the fucking records. He cuts on the other side of me, which is a no-no. Digs this out. Sorry bastard that he was, and he bought it. And he fucking hung it in my face for years and years and years that he got this. I did buy a Led Zeppelin bootleg from like the 70s that I've never seen. But it's still in this collection. That very first record that I ever bought. Still got it. It took me 30 fucking years to get this from my fucking friend Perry. And it's an amazing record, you know. Back in the day, Circle of Tyrants, Dethroned Emperor, you know, the best. Because it was this, and then, you know, this led into Morbid Tales, which is a Desert Island record for me. Just phenomenal fucking artwork. Still got the promo sticker on it. And it's got a good story behind it, so there's that.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, so that's obviously a vinyl that means a lot to you. And that's very cool.
Dude, it took me because, you know, he doesn't let go of shit. But I had to have that record because he got it. You know, he got it in the worst way. He cut in front of me in the records.
Swiped it from you.
Fucking bastard. Sorry, fuck. But I got it.
Hell yeah.
But go on to the next one. This is a pretty rare. We're getting up. Got some rare ones in here now. So Sepultura, Refuse Resist, 12-inch single, and this is the original Brazilian press of this record.
Oh hell yeah!
So you usually see the 7-inch single of this, which I also own, but this is the 12-inch Brazilian release of, you know, the greatest lineup of Sepultura ever. I saw them, I think, 3 times on Chaos AD. Once in Germany with Fudge Tunnel opening up, which was fucking awesome.
I'm sure.
And I think either 2, if not 3 times with Pantera, like in the States. Pantera, Sepultura, Biohazard was one. Pantera, Sepultura, Prong was another one. And then I think there was another one in there too. But Chaos AD, that era of Sepultura, you know, Beneath the Remains, Arise. I saw them on a Arise tour in Germany. And then Chaos, like those, woo, one of the greatest fucking metal bands of all time, fucking Sepultura. And I really hope that they reunite with the original guys to do some shows. I know that Max has talked recently about the willingness to reunite, and then I guess today Andreas said that he would be into reuniting with the Cavalera brothers to close out Sepultura.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I read the same thing about it, and Andreas agreeing to that earlier today. I'm like, dude, God, I hope that happens.
If that happens and it happens in the United States, I'm traveling to wherever the fuck that is. That's you can't. Yeah. I mean, I've seen Sepultura because when I worked here at Roadrunner, I worked during the Roots, and I saw them. I saw them so many times. Times. Every time live, they just fucking killed it. And a lot of people hate on that Roots record, but go back and listen to it now. It was kind of different then, but it's still good. And if you listen to Live Under the Cold Gray Sky, that double live album that they did on that Roots tour, it's like every song is a fucking banger. Every single, it's like 90 minutes of.
It's like the last show they did with Max.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Under a pale gray sky, we shall arise.
Yeah, and it fucking rules. Even if you don't like the fucking Root shit, live that shit is pretty fucking badass. And that album fucking smokes, dude. This getting because I have this is the Brazilian press, and then I also have the Brazilian press of Chaos AD.
Hell yeah.
Which are both pretty rare, but I thought this one was the more rare of the two. And Sepultura is one of my all-time fucking favorite bands. So, and in Blk Ops, we actually covered this song, "Refuse Resist."
Excellent.
We covered it live a few times, and I actually played the guitar solo with my theremin, which sounded insane.
Oh wow,
that's awesome.
That video, there's probably video of that somewhere on the fucking intro nets. Who knows? But love Sepultura and that song. Yeah. But we'll move on to another, even more rare record, and that is the King Diamond promotional version of T off of them, with the tea bag still in the.
What?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude!
See that? You see that in there?
Yeah.
Tea bag still in it. This is number 147 of 260 promotional records. This is a pretty rare thing.
Dude, that's amazing.
And I love King Diamond. Merciful Fate. I love all that shit. Been jamming King Diamond since fucking high school. T is one of my favorite fucking King Diamond songs. Them is my favorite King Diamond fucking album. I mean, I wear a King Diamond belt buckle every day. He's the shit. He's fucking awesome. But when I found this with the tea bag, because that's the part, sometimes you'll find this promotional single, but this is always missing.
Wow.
So a little bit of metal rarity right there.
Sure. So, absolutely.
Super rare. And I think, if I remember right, this may actually be. Oh, yeah. And it's on clear purple.
Well, that's just, dude, that's beautiful, man. That really is badass.
Yeah. I love it. And that's another one that we're not going to talk about.
We're going to talk about how much you paid for it, sure. No. Wouldn't think of asking that at all, man.
It was actually somebody was cool enough to call me about this. There's a record store here in town called Breakaway Records. It's on North Loop in Austin, and a lady had brought in a huge metal collection. And the guy that owns the place, he texted me. He's like, "Hey man, are you in the area? Like, I just got this huge metal collection. Maybe you want to look at it." So I swung up there, and but when I saw this, I like held it up, like fucking bitch. Like, yeah, dude. He's like, there's so much King Diamond in there, and I bought 4 different King Diamond records at this time. But this is like the fucking nerd fucking pinnacle of record shit right here. Like, yeah, but do you have the tea bag? Yeah, you have the tea bag in yours.
That's definitely bragging rights right there, champ. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be some teabag jokes made about this now, but but still, you know, record fucking rules, super fucking collectible, super rare, and my dumbass has one. So
very cool.
Okay, we'll get on to the next one. Another one going down memory lane. Little change up. Steve Earle, Copperhead Road, original press. Probably really the first guy to ever really do country, rock driven country. And when I was in Desert Storm, I took some tapes with me that I had made, and you know, a couple of it was all metal, but I also had Dwight Yoakam, If There Was a Way tape, and my friend Joe, he had his stuff, and he had Copperhead Road on tape.
Mm-hmm.
In and out of being across the battlefield, wherever we were, wherever combat zone we were in, wherever we were, anytime we would see each other, because my friend Joe was he was in the country, and we would always, that was our thing. Anytime we saw each other, we exchanged Dwight Yoakam for Steve Earle, and I absolutely adore this record. Every single song on it is fucking fantastic. It means a lot to me to actually have an original press of this. You'll be hard pressed to ever find a more rock and roll rebel punk rock motherfucker in country music than Steve Earle. And I actually got to see him perform this record in its entirety on its 30th anniversary tour just a couple of years ago. But
very cool.
Record, you know, it's not super rare, but to me, it means a lot. It's worth a lot. Fucking love it. You know, if
That's rad, man. Hell yeah.
Another one, you know, a lot of people that aren't really into country music, because I love country and I love old school country, but there's some really rocking shit on here. You know, he's really influenced by a bunch of different people, and there's a lot of. He was kind of like the new version of Neil Young in the 80s when he started doing his thing. And there's incredible fucking songs on this album, and it just brings back tons of good and, you know, some bad PTSD type memories. But
sure,
the time that I see this and hear this, I just, you know, think of being in a fucking tank battalion in the middle of a fucking combat zone and seeing my friend and knowing that we were gonna exchange fucking tapes, you know, which is just crazy in itself that something like that would fucking go down. But this is one of those things from that.
That's awesome, man. Hell yeah.
It's not all grind and hardcore in this record collection, guys.
I see that.
See, you got some Steely Dan, you got a little Steve Earle. Another one from my childhood memories, the Eagles, Hotel California, which I know a lot of people are going to groan and be like, oh, I fucking hate the Eagles. Yeah, you hate the Eagles because you're fucking dumb. This is the original gatefold press of this record, and they pressed a bajillion of them. This record's probably worth about 3 or 4 cents in actual value. But this was my mother's favorite band, and she died when I was 17. And this was her record. And I have it in my...
dude.
When I first started hearing, you know, my first memories of music are the fucking, you know, shit like the Eagles and stuff like that.
Sure.
She loved this fucking record. And I got to see the Eagles a couple of months back with Steely Dan opening up, by the way, who were awesome. I had never seen the Eagles before because I could never afford it. And my friend Steve, the Metallica guy, got me into the show in the VIP section. And I sang every song of the set terribly. And I cried like a fucking baby 2 or 3 times during that set.
Oh.
Started right here with this.
That's so cool, man. That's a great story. That's awesome, champ.
So many people fucking hate the Eagles, but they're so good. You know, their fucking vocal harmonies are untouchable. I mean, they're really a great band. But I understand why a lot of people hate them. Because
I'm hit and miss with the Eagles. I mean, I like some of their stuff, but some of the stuff is, to me, overplayed. You know, like my parents listened to the Eagles a lot growing up, and I think that might have been what deterred me from them. Maybe, I don't know, because I don't know. But your story, anyway, dude. That's beautiful, man. That's really cool that you have your mom's record.
You know, with a lot of people, it's like, oh well, my parents listened to this, and there's always two reactions. Either I fucking hate this band because my parents played it all the time, or it's like, oh man, I have like this memory, you know, the more
memories.
Oh, you know, I fucking love this. And
Sure.
I was the same way. Like when I was growing up, there was a lot of, when I started getting into metal, and I started getting into metal when I was like 11, you know, like 11 or 12. I think 12 was like because I was 12 and what? 83, you know, when Dio came out. You know, when I started getting into that, I was just like, oh, you know, you kind of rebel against what your parents listen to. You know, so sure. I got kind of like stayed away from like country music and shit like that for a while. But then you just come back to it, you know? It's just like there's so many memories associated with that, and it's just like, you know, I really do like this music, even though I claim to hate it for, you know, in my you know, it's like my first concert I ever went to was fucking Waylon Jennings, you know, and it was amazing, you know. It was the Oklahoma 75th Jamboree, big outdoor show. It was the summer between 3rd and 4th grade, and Waylon Jennings was the fucking headliner, you know. I saw Waylon Jennings as like a fucking 9-year-old, you know, and it was fucking awesome. It was like 9 or 10, you know. I was a kid, like a little kid.
Right.
But I remember it. To this day, I still love Waylon Jennings because of
that. Real quick, my favorite Beastie Boys song samples the Eagles. That song, "Those Shoes."
There you go.
Yeah, they just use the bass line in that though.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
Dude, the Beastie Boys were so fucking good, dude. What's your favorite Beastie Boys record? That's the real question.
Paul's Boutique.
Nerd.
I love that record. It's incredible.
Dude, fucking so good.
Yeah.
I mean, genius how they put all that music together. Fucking Dust Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a check your head guy because it's like it's live instrumentation, so I like it that much more. But
I think that's their best album, by far. But Paul's Boutique is my favorite.
Yeah, that Paul's Boutique came out. I think I was in the AIT. Like I had just graduated basic training, and I was in the AIT when that came out. Because the two records that I remember the most from that time, rap-wise, was Paul's Boutique and Third Base, the Cactus album.
Mm-hmm.
Those came out when I was in fucking training. And the Cactus, if you never really listen to Third Base, those first two Third Base records were pretty fucking awesome.
I never did, but I do know the song Professor Booty, MCA's verse is about MC Search.
Yeah. MC Search is the reason that everybody knows who Nas is. He's actually Searchlight Records is actually MC Search's label.
Yeah.
And he's actually the guy that like brought Nas to the front and made sure that he didn't get ripped off like that.
That's pretty awesome.
Nas owes his career to MC Search. Which
is
someone, because Third Base got screwed. Like they didn't make any money. And then once that happened to him and he started his own label, he made sure that what happened to him never happened to anyone that he handled, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
A rarity in the music business, really.
Well, I've just learned all kinds of shit from this episode, champ.
Dude, I'm a nerd.
Evidently.
This is very full of meaningless information.
Sure.
But the next bit of information is about one of the greatest singers from the city of Detroit, Michigan, the mighty Bob Seger. This is my favorite Bob Seger record. Night Moves. Every song on it's fucking great. You've probably heard Night Moves on the fucking radio 40 bajillion fucking times.
Absolutely. I can hear it now. Now that you've said Night Moves, I can hear the song in my head.
Yeah, you know.
I'm having flashbacks to GTA 5 right now.
What is GTA 5? What is that?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh,
it's a video game.
I don't play.
But they play. There's like a radio station that has Bob Seger, 2 Bob Seger songs on that station.
Hell yeah, that's cool. I'm not a video game guy, but it's cool they got Seger in there. The reason I love this album the most is again childhood memories of we had this on 8-track, and I just know all of these songs. And probably my favorite song on here is called "Ship of Fools." Fantastic song, and turns out that Bob Seger is one of the greatest guys in the Detroit music scene. Helped the MC5 get going. Helped Iggy Pop a lot. He actually tried to get Iggy Pop to play drums in his first bands. Like, wow. Bob Seger was like the big dog in throughout the 70s with like the Bob Seger sound system before the Silver Bullet Band even existed. Bob Seger was like the most successful person in Detroit rock, and he literally tried to help everybody that he could be successful. But a super, super great songwriter and an incredible singer. Got a really bluesy, soulful voice. And there's a lot of songs that are on all of his records that are equal to anything, if not better than what you heard on the radio.
Right on.
Absolutely love this. Another driving record for the channel here. Got a few left. We'll change it up now with the greatest rapper of all time, Chuck D. This is my original press. Takes a nation of millions to hold us back, Public Enemy, with the hype sticker still in place.
Nice.
Record changed the game, changed fucking music, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
I love this. This came out when I was in fucking high school, and I remember my friend brought the tape, and he was like, dude, you gotta hear this. This is like right when Yo MTV Raps was starting, and like hip-hop was starting to, you know, gain momentum outside of like Run DMC, and I heard this, and it was just like, holy fucking shit. This fucking dude is one of the smartest humans, and the way that he puts words together, his message, just nothing better than Chuck D, nothing better than fucking Public Enemy. I finally live like fucking 8 years ago at fucking Fun Fest. Incredible. Full live band. It wasn't, you know, it was a full live band, drummer and bass. It was awesome. But this is my fucking go-to. This is the probably, in my opinion, the greatest rap album ever. So.
Oh yeah.
I love this original press. The fact that I found it with the hype sticker on it is fucking, you know.
Very impressive for sure.
Good shit.
Yeah. I just recently bought that from Target, actually. And I know it's nowhere near as cool as the original pressing, but Target has their own pressings of albums. Let's see if I can't dig it out since it's right here. But yeah, bought it from Target. A Target exclusive.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, Apple Red.
Yeah, it's an actual Target record. That's fucking nuts.
You talk like you've never been to a Target and seen vinyl.
I didn't know they had public. The only I have nightmares about Target because I'm a fire alarm technician, and one of our accounts is Target. So dealing with a fire alarm in a store that big is a fucking nightmare.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But the only thing I've ever seen vinyl there is like just terrible shit. I didn't know they had fucking Public Enemy in there. That's
see, I didn't either, and I think it was National Vinyl Day last year. Now they have like National Grilled Cheese Day and National Fire Hydrant Day or whatever. National Vinyl Day last year. Like I was at work and I'm like, I need to buy a record. Like I need to buy something to commemorate a National Vinyl Day. And the only record store that was open in Jeff City, Missouri, after I got off work at 7 o'clock was Target. And I'm like, fuck, I'll just see what Target's got. I'm like, Public Enemy? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and order this now and go pick it up after work. And it was like, this worked out well, you know, really? Like, cool.
Go in there and get your Public Enemy record and look at
get the hell out.
Their large selection of bobblehead Funko stuff.
Right.
They do have a lot of that.
A lot.
I have a few of them. I have Ronnie James Dio, Rob Halford, Roddy Piper, and Ric Flair. All the bobbleheads. Oh, and Alex Trebek. I just got Alex Trebek the other day.
Nice.
To fortify the useless knowledge in my head that came from Jeopardy. But next is Sick of It All, Scratch the Surface. In my opinion, one of the probably top 3 best hardcore records of all time. Absolutely fucking love this record and love this band. This is the original press on Equal Vision. I think it's just regular. I couldn't remember if it was colored or not. Again, not necessarily the rarest record, but there is no better hardcore band on earth than fucking Sick of It All. They don't live, they just fucking kill it. Then again, another memory record for me of me and my brother just fucking tearing up shit at shows. Came from fucking Sick of It All and saw them on this tour a couple of times. Met them a few times, you know, they were always fucking cool as fuck. And my brother's no longer with us, so this is like for him. This is the shit right here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Ever. Sick of It All. But another rare record, ISIS, the Red Sea Test Press. And I bought this from Aaron Turner himself.
Oh, nice.
At the show. It's the test pressing of the Red Sea record. And then I begrudgingly had him sign it. And he has this weird drawing signature because he doesn't ever sign his actual name. And he's not a fan of signing stuff. So I got him to fucking sign it. And I was like, come on, dude. Just sign it. But he had this for sale at an Old Man Gloom show. And I finally got to see them. And I bought this and had him sign it. And we had played with them with Sumac when Sumac first started. One of the, I don't know, probably first 5 or 10 Blk Ops shows was opening for Sumac. And I was like, when I bought this, I was like, come on, man, like, sign it. You've seen me play. Like, what? What are you talking about? I was like, I was the asshole with the theremin with a fucking full stack. And he was like, oh shit, I know what that is. So he drew his little fucking picture on there, you know. But this, again, ISIS, fucking phenomenal band. One of the best. Changed the music, you know, itself, and that whole neurosis type thing. Really smart, really heavy. Test press of the Red Sea, one of their very first records.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And next, one of the most anti-music records from one of the greatest fucking bands of all time. The original pressing of the first Con 8 record. Pretty hard to find in the original pressing. It's been repressed a couple of times on some different labels. And then they did all the remaster stuff a few years back. And I have all that stuff too. It's in there. But this is the original pressing of one of the most anxiety driving, scathing, life hating, fucking anti music records ever. The fucking Conate. I always tell people ask me like, well, what does it sound like? And I was like, it sounds like the soundtrack to a slow suicide. One of my favorite fucking records ever. Original Conate. I actually saw them on this tour in Oklahoma City, and there was about 15 people in the crowd. And they played at maximum fucking volume, and it changed how my brain functions.
Wow.
Fucking Stephen O'Malley had 3 full stacks, and each cab had a head. So there was 6 cabs and 6 heads. And he just dimed them all out, everything to 10. James Plotkin had 2 810s and probably 1,000-watt power amp hooked to it. The only thing they mic'd was the drums and the vocals. And the rest was all pure fucking volume. It was sick. So fucking sick. Love this band. Love this fucking record. Original pressing of it. Pretty rare. Pretty good times. If you hate, life in general, this is what you should listen to.
Well, I mean, I've heard the name tossed around. I've heard the Conate name tossed around here and there, but I've never listened to them. And now to say that I'm intrigued is putting it lightly.
You have to be in a certain mood to listen to Conate. You don't want to take like a long night drive and jam. I'm going to jam some Conate.
Fair enough. Okay.
It will put you in a fucking bad mood for all the right reasons. It is anti-music, and I love it.
Right on.
Fucking Alan Dubbin, the most like scathing, fucking evil, fucking vocals. Stephen O'Malley, from Sun, because when Burning Witch broke up, they made Conate, and then when Conate broke up, he did Sun. So it's like the natural progression with O'Malley. Okay. James Plotkin on bass, Tim Mosquito on drums, who Tim is now in the band Insect Arc with Dana, who is in Swans. And if you haven't heard Insect Arc, you need to check that out. That band fucking rules.
All right, let me get my notes out.
Write it down. And they're also better than what's that one band?
Enough with the Nirvana shit.
Oh, and then I picked this next record out for Nick.
Oh boy,
here we go.
I can already tell what it is.
I can too.
Here it is.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Ain Staley's greatest achievement, Mad Season. So this is the gatefold 180 grain re-release of this. And it's incredible. So the greatest thing Lane ever did. Wrote every song himself. Cantrell was not involved in this in any way. And it's literally the soundtrack of a person being on fucking dope and wanting to die every day. Lots of awesome sad songs, which I love. Lots of depression. It's good stuff. But it's him and Mike McCready from Pearl Jam. Mark Lanigan from Screaming Trees is also on this record. This is actually like a super. Mad Season is actually a super group. Yeah. But the story behind how this band even started was Mike McCready was talking with Mark Lanigan saying that, he thought that Lane was in really, really, really bad shape to the point that they needed to do some kind of intervention. And they needed to figure out how to try to get him to want to be involved in music and not be involved in heroin anymore. So they came up with a scheme that like they were just going to tell him, hey, we have this band and we want you to maybe try to sing on, for this thing we're doing. And they were just like, all right, yeah, let's just go do it. So they went to go see Lane, and Alice in Chains had already broken up, and he was really, really, really bad on heroin.
Right.
They told him, like, we got this band, and Mike wrote all the music, and would you be interested in maybe thinking about singing again? And he's all kind of nodding in and out of being fucked up, and he was like, tell me about the music. So Mike just starts like just making shit up because it's not real, it's a lie to try to get him to move forward from being a fucking junkie.
Sure.
And try to save his life. And at the end of them talking about it, he was like, said that he would be interested in doing it, but he needed to hear what the music was. So when they left his apartment, Mike McCready had to go home and he wrote the first 4 songs because he had just told Lane Staley that he had a band he wanted him to sing for. So
wow, I never knew that.
They only ever played one show. They played it at the Moore Theater. There's a video of it. And they actually pressed a record live at the Moore after Lane had died. But I have that too. But the live stuff is great. Mark Lanigan appears on that. It's just like it's Lane, Mike McCready, the drummer from Screaming Trees. It's an all-star group. And my personal favorite thing that Lane ever did, better than Alice in Chains, Nick.
That must be why it was so successful, huh?
Huh?
I said that must be why it was so successful.
Well, I mean, Lane died, so they kind of stopped anything.
Well, I mean, I think I remember being maybe a sophomore in high school when I saw that one music video. I can't remember what the song is called.
River of the Sea.
Oh, River of the Sea.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school when I saw that on MTV, and I was just like, "What's going on here? Does he have another band?" But that didn't get released for years, right?
Yeah, it had taken a little bit of time for it to come out.
Yeah, so
it came out when he was still alive, but it didn't last much longer after that.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a great album. Yeah, I love the only album from Mad.
I mean, I love Alice in Chains. Don't get me wrong. It's fucking fantastic. And the thing that Lane liked it because it was him just writing and doing what he wanted to do. It wasn't like an Alice in Chains
thing with.
Yeah, it wasn't collaborative with Cantrell because Cantrell was Cantrell was a huge part of Alice in Chains.
Sure.
And he's a great writer and a great singer in his own, as well as his playing is incredible. And I love Alice in Chains, but my favorite Alice in Chains is their Unplugged record. Sap and Jar of Fly. I like all their more acoustic stuff.
Yeah, all the EPs. Yeah. I guess for people who don't know, the reoccurring joke was years ago. You and I got into this not argument, but a debate online about which band was better, and you were just full in on that. So every now and then I would sneak in an Alice in Chains is better than Mad Season on you in your comments, and you just like, you're dead, But they are a great band. I just ribbing you there, but Alice in Chains, obviously one of my favorite bands as well. So anything Lane did, I was a fan of. He has an excellent, very unique voice.
Absolutely.
You hear him talking or singing, you know who you're listening to. He was just an amazing character, and sucks he's not with us anymore.
Yeah, fucking drugs are a terrible thing. I think the only Alice in Chains record I own, I have like I guess they call it Three-Legged Dog. It's like the self-title record.
Oh wow! Do you have an OG pressing of that?
Yeah.
I call dibs. I call dibs. If you don't want it, I call dibs.
No.
Before Nick fucking tries to weasel his way in.
There's been enough battles between Nick and I. If I ever get rid of it, he'll be the one that gets it.
You know what, Nick? Vinyl Bag is done. All right, I'm.
In the end, the end.
Damn you!
We both own bootleg copies of that album.
We do.
It's a great fucking record. I love that one too.
He has to get it. Of course, he has to get it. An OG tripod. Yeah. Man, that's rad.
See what that looks like. Yeah.
You know, this episode might not ever see the light of day. I don't know if this is ever going to.
The greatest pieces of information I've ever heard on this show. Oh, wow.
Dude, look at this.
Yeah. Dude, I love when people break out like stuff like this that I've never seen before on the show. So this is a good one. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God, dude.
Dude, yeah. That's great.
Let me see. It's on regular black, but
still, dude, that looks that label looks just like the CD. Man, that fucking brings me back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I found that, I was just like, ooh, fuck.
That's how I feel right now. Ooh, fuck.
I think that's the one album of theirs they haven't repressed yet. Everything else, all the other older stuff has been repressed, but that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually found this at a used bookstore, and you don't know the tiny amount of money that I paid for it.
Dude,
I think
great.
it was $20.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's like I walked around with this above my head, like walking through the store, like you bitches don't fucking know. You don't know.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, great story, man. Oh yeah.
Okay, no, seriously. Okay, this dumb shit between you and Nick, and which lane outfit is better. You are my favorite person in the world. I want to get Nick off of Vinyl Bag, and I want you to be the new co-host of Vinyl Bag. What do you think about that?
I would do it. Nick and I can hold hands.
That damn lovable Nick.
Look at that handsome face. Look at that.
I know. I can't be mad at him.
And he's wearing a Yatsu shirt. My little baby son's band right there.
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to Josh Huddleston.
Shout out to my little baby child. fucking love that dude. And that band is fucking awesome too. That new record's fucking.
Oh, dude.
Great banger.
Yeah. God damn. So good.
So we'll move on to the next jammy jam. The Mighty Jesus Lizard. This is the show. This is the live album. Original press. This is a live show from CBGB's. And I really like this record. It's on clear yellow.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of the rare pressing of it. Huge Jesus Lizard fan. Seen them multiple times. And when we first started Blk Ops, we used to cover Seasick, the Jesus Lizard song.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I brought that to the table was I was jamming this at work one day on the old iPod. And I was like, fuck, we could really fuck this fucking song up. We did it, My guitar player, Mark, he did the main vocal lines, and then I did like the chorus parts. And then during all the chorus parts, it was just like my theremin, just like, huge like waves of fucking noise. Mm-hmm. And my best memory of that song is we played in Dallas once, and Brain Tentacles was on tour, and Houston had got rained out. Houston had flooded, and their show got canceled. Mm-hmm. So Dave Whitty called me, and he was like, "Hey, is Blk Ops playing in Dallas?" And I was like, yeah, we're driving there right now. And he was like, is there any way that we could hop on the show? You know, we got flooded out and we can't even like make it into the city of Houston. He's like, we don't want any money or, you know, whatever, you know, we'll open the show. And I was like, absolutely not. Motherfuckers, you know, we'll take care of it. You're going to headline this fucking thing and we're going to make it happen. So it was Brain Tentacles, Blk Ops, and Cognizant, which is one of Brian's other grind bands. It's awesome. The reason I picked this, one, it was one of the first covers Blk Ops ever did. And then when we had Brain Tentacles, we pulled them on our show so that they could have a show. We started to play the song, and I was like, I don't think anybody in this fucking crowd will know the words to the song. And Bruce Lamont jumped up from the back at their merch table and was just like, motherfucker, I know all the words. Invited him up, and he sang the whole fucking song word for fucking word, and we tore that shit up. Seasick, probably one of my favorite Jesus Lizard songs. We also covered Thumbscrews, which was another Jesus Lizard song for a comp that was supposed to come out, but has never come out. But the first cover Blk Ops ever did, Seasick by Jesus Lizard.
Yeah, right on.
Then we covered Deuce by Kiss, Refuse Resist by Sepultura, and then Thumbscrews again by Jesus Lizard. Just a couple left. 3 left in this journey we've taken through vinyl. Little baby children's. This record is really pretty rare. This is the original English pressing of Pink Floyd Metal. And this is the original artwork. It's slightly different than the one that most people know. It's more focused on the actual ear than it is the water circles down here. The more popular artwork, this is moved up where you see the water circles more. But the cool thing about this pressing, and it's going to be impossible to see on this fucking camera, but it is a pressed, textured cover. So,
wow.
Yeah, pretty rare. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, as well everyone should be, but this is the original English pressing with the original textured artwork for Metal. This usually goes for a couple $100 if you're thinking about those type of things. But love this fucking Pink Floyd record. I used to have this on 8-track when I was a kid. I got it at a garage sale for like a fucking dime. Record rules. Pretty rare. Pretty cool shit. I wanted
Very
to pull
cool.
kind of different stuff out so you guys could see it. But yeah, slightly different artwork, textured cover for the big Pink Floyd fans out there.
That's awesome.
Second to last. Townes Van Sant, for the sake of the song. This is the original pressing on Poppy. Pretty rare. Huge Townes Van Sant fan. Writer of some of the saddest fucking songs ever made. Great country musician. And has one of the saddest fucking songs ever written, Tecumseh Valley, on it. Just a heartbreaking fucking song. This album is fucking incredible. This pressing of this is super rare. Anything Townes original is super rare. It's either going to be on Poppy or it's going to be on Tomato, where they repressed some of the stuff that Townes okayed before he passed away. Well, through his career, Tomato had repressed some stuff. But Townes Van Sant, an incredible singer-songwriter, very tragic person, very broken, lots of issues. Lived here. He's actually from outside of Houston, but lived here in Austin. Died here in Austin. He's more famous for writing songs for other people. Poncho and Lefty was actually written by Townes Van Sant. It was popularized by Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard. and covered by a shit ton of people. But my favorite Town song, Tecumseh Valley, is on here. And one of the best things that ever happened to me, the very first Derelict satellite show I ever played, I opened in Dallas for Scott Kelly from Neurosis before all of his shit went down. Yeah. And my good friend Johnny Judkins was on tour with them playing banjo and slide guitar. And the two songs they closed with was Cortez the Killer by Neil Young, and Tecumseh Valley was the final song. And it was so incredibly fucking powerful, actually seeing somebody sing it live. And we all, Scott had a very powerful voice. And to hear that, my favorite song live for the first time ever, was awesome. Pretty rare record, super rare pressing of this record. Townes Van Zandt. If you ever get a chance, check it out.
Oh yeah.
And last but not least, super rare. One of the greatest bands ever that changed the landscape of music.
It's a Nirvana box set.
This podcast is over. It's a box set, but it's the Neurosis Strength and Vision box set.
Holy shit.
This is super, super, super rare. Has every one of their fucking albums in it. This is a giant box set. This thing weighs like probably 15, 20 pounds.
Easily.
So the front opens up, and then all the records are inside. And then it's all the records remastered, and then a book of all of the artwork comes with it.
Wow.
Super fucking rare, super amazing. One of literally the greatest bands of all time. And I bought this from Chris Thomas, that used to be in U.S. Christmas. This was Chris's. I actually text with him today, but no one can deny the power of Neurosis, how much they changed the musical landscape, musically, visually, conceptually, and this fucking weight, this fucking piece of workout equipment.
If you can see it right there.
Oh, hell yeah. There you go.
Huh. Now, how old is that box set? I mean, that can't be just a couple years old, right?
I think it came out. I think it was pre-COVID. I mean, it's been.
It might have been, yeah. I mean, like 18 or 19. But I'm not saying like within the last 2 years. But I mean, it's not like 15 years old. I mean, it has all of their albums in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, let's see. Let me look. Yeah, it goes up to Honor and Decay.
Okay.
And it's the 30th anniversary of Neurosis, and it's Neurot Records number 100. So it's the 100th thing they ever pressed. And if there's one thing I have a whole bunch of, it's fucking Neurosis records. But getting that box set, and actually it being, Chris's from U.S. Christmas too, means that much more to me. But as a whole, like fucking Neurosis is untouchable. No matter what happened with Scott, it's not about him, it's about them.
Absolutely.
I saw them. What? God damn! I think I've probably seen Neurosis about 15 fucking times.
Damn.
I mean, the first time I saw man, what do you think? I think I saw him like 3 times on Through Silver and Blood. You know, just a life-changing band for most people. And actually, that reminds me. This paper airplane is the set list from when Neurosis played Phil Anselmo's housecore show.
I was going to say, we saw them because that was the first year that we really hung out, was at that housecore show.
Yeah.
And they played that year.
Yeah, they played, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of their set, they're like, you know, throwing out stuff. And I'm standing there with Shane and Jesse from Ken Mode. And I see that, you know, Reuters is like folding up and making a paper airplane out of his set list, you know, and I was like, you know, the one thing I would probably want from this show is this fucking set list, because it's been a fucking awesome weekend. Every band fucking ruled. Neurosis was incredible. And he fucking threw the paper plane, and it like looped around and over everyone and literally landed at my feet. And fucking Jesse was like, motherfucker, that is crazy, because you just said the one thing you wanted was that, and it just landed right there.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
from
amazing.
that show. And I remember hanging out with you then. That, like you said, that was really like legitimately the first time we ever fucking
hung out. Yeah.
Open with Lotus Star.
Nice.
Star.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good set for sure.
Yeah, I've kept this thing folded up since then. It's never fully been unfolded. But Neurosis, dude, untouchable.
Yeah.
Giant box set, super fucking rare records.
Awesome stuff, man.
Dude, absolutely. Dude, this has been a very interesting episode. For sure.
That's how you close out an episode of Vinyl Bang.
I'll say.
For sure.
Well,
thank you.
And a cassette of Badlands.
Oh. That's a nice one.
Or just one more.
Champ.
The jealousy shot.
Champ, we wanted to thank you for your time
Nick,
tonight.
you can hold that over his head for the next 20 years. Like, Champ said, when he dies, I get this.
Dude, let me tell you, Jeff's gotten some records that I've seen that I'm very envious of. So his collection's always going to be better than mine somehow or another.
Dude, he buys a lot of fucking records. Like, seeing like his record adventures and then his traveling for shows is some next level shit.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't either. But seeing your record collection, like, I mean, I follow you on Discogs, Champ. I follow you on Discogs, but to see your actual collection is very humbling. It's just like,
like I said, there's 13 fucking crates of 7 inches out.
I could imagine. Yeah, I was like, I might as well just give up.
And here, we'll do this too. We'll get up. See all the.
Oh yeah.
Some of my original fucking Kiss cards there. There's the Misfits CD box set, Coffin box set. All the Danzig there. My first Faith No More VHSs. Little Mother single right there. Here's my Con 8 coffee cup that James Plotkin sent me. Super rare Con 8 promotional knife. I think there's only 12 of these because the record company freaked out. Like, we can't fucking send people knives. My original Dio cassettes from junior high. Little Ronnie James Dio bobblehead. And hidden in there, that wooden box back there, is Sepultura Roots. And that is there is a CD, a VHS tape, some candles. It's a bunch of like Santeria type witchcraft type stuff.
Okay.
There's only 50 of these boxes made, and only record label people got them.
Oh, wow.
So when I worked for Roadrunner, I got one, and I've had it since Roots came out.
That's rad.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's super, super fucking rare. And then up here, these Black Sabbath tapes, you see these in these thick plastic covers. So when I was in Desert Storm, after the war was over, we were getting ready to come back to Germany. And I snuck off our base and went on to the Saudi Arabian economy. Right. And I found these fucking bootleg heat resistant tapes. That's the best of Dio, best of Black Sabbath. And I've had them. There's actually still desert sand still in those cases, still in those boxes.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Plenty more Rollins band stuff. Here's the little Metallica stuff. My original Cliff 'Em All video. Get the Eye of the Beholder and the One singles. And then these are some of the picks that Steve got for me. He was down in the pit thing. I wasn't there. But the first time I saw Metallica in Germany, I bought this pen because I was supposed to see Metallica on January 22nd in Amarillo, Texas. And that was the day that my mom died in a car accident. So I missed the show.
Oh, man. That's so
but my friend John took over 2 years of tape trading to get me a bootleg of the show. And these are the 2 tapes of the show that I missed.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Then the Benum Pig Destroyer mini disc. Gotta have the Pig Destroyer. This is Sim Kane from the Rollins Band's drumstick from that show in 1992. All the Gorilla Biscuits boxes with the gorillas in them. Plenty of Iron Maiden. Lots of Sun stuff. Agnostic Front. More Gorilla Biscuits. The original hardcore, New York hardcore VHS tape. Sick of it all. Agnostic Front and Gorilla Biscuits.
Nice.
My collection is fucking ridiculous, dude.
I see that.
I mean,
Ridiculous.
all of that. This red box down here. This is all of my my favorite tapes from high school. All of my original Metallica, Slayer, King Diamond, all that shit. I still have all of that. And then all that in there is all 7 inches.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Quite a collection, champ.
Absolutely.
Don't spend money on your retirement, kids. Just spend it on records.
Spend on records.
There we go.
And Stone
Sound
Cold
advice.
shirts.
Well, alrighty. Again, we want to thank you for your time tonight, and we appreciate everybody watching this week's episode with our amazing guest champ. Those are some awesome stories, quite a collection. And Jeff, you want to add anything else?
Yeah, I want to say thank you, champ, for agreeing to do this. Dude, again, seeing your collection is amazing. I'm glad that we did this. I learned a lot about music that I should have already known about. If
you need that Mr. Big single right there, son.
Incredible, yeah. Some good shit.
Yeah.
Good
all
stuff.
right.
Well, thank you again, everybody, and thank you, champ. And we will see you all next week. Have a good one.
All right, champ.
Thanks,
See you
guys. Had a good time.